Hello and welcome back to Can You Survive? We are here at Tribal Council yet again. We've been here quite a bit over the last 4 days. We are down to the final 8 players in this season, and they are about to file on into Tribal Council just behind me.
Bigelow, come on in.
And in come Jazzy, Taylor, Ryan, Colt, Melissa, Dave, Matt, and Cam.
Let's bring in the members of our jury. Bergen, Tyler, final 8. 13 have gone before you, and now you sit here just a few rounds away to what you really want to claim. Dave, how does it feel to be this close to the end?
Scary as shit. There's no easy path for anyone to the end, but everyone might tell you they're with you or this is the plan, but everyone's thinking about what is best for them. And it's a question of what's going to line up the past 2 or 3 paths to the end for whoever that is.
And what's the best for you, Dave? What's your path?
Yeah, I'd really like to know that.
You know what? That's a good question. I'm going to think about that. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Hopefully sometime later.
I'll come back to you.
Okay.
I'll circle back.
I don't mean this tribal council.
Okay, all right. Okay. You had a big reaction to that question that I asked Dave. Is there something specific you want answered from him?
I mean, I think after the last tribal council, my name is heavily on the block, so I've been waiting patiently for tribal council to start. I give my pitch to everyone. I think it behooves a lot of people here to have me sleep here and continue being a name that keeps getting brought up and help them kind of create a smokescreen heading into tomorrow. And I hope they listen to that pitch and I get to stay one more round.
Are you nervous?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cole. Alan. You saw some people mingling over there. Sometimes you were with a group. Sometimes you were with individual. If you were by yourself, what were you thinking about as you were looking at your other castmates chatting and talking without you?
Why isn't anyone talking to me? Or, how did they think the rotisserie chicken was? Any conversation at this point is fair game because the nerves and the anxiety and the exhaustion is finally setting in. So it's not just the paranoia anymore. It's your body just telling you, do anything you can to look alive, stay alert, stay clear-minded and clear-headed. And you're trying to do that with tons of different relationships and conversations. So really just trying to keep your head in the game.
And Taylor, without a lot of food, without probably a lot of sleep in these elements, how are you keeping your head in this game? You won that individual immunity. How have you been able to focus and stay there and stay strong?
I definitely think I've disassociated at times. Like I've said names of people that aren't even in this game. And so I think we're all at a point, like really it's just you have to keep pushing past that barrier, your mental, your physical, and continuing to build on, the trust of everyone around you. It's always been a bucket list to be able to win an individual immunity, and everyone here is an absolute powerhouse. They've proven that these past few days with every single challenge. I'm pretty sure everyone here has had a chance to win and be a part of winning something. So I am very humbled to be sitting here with this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you're kind of a Hakamani around camp now, where you're kind of being pulled and saying, Taylor, let's try here, let's maybe vote this way? Or are people kind of leaving you out of the conversation because you are safe?
I don't think people were leaving me out per se. I think there's so few of us, and we've all built these relationships, and we all are thinking the next 2 steps. We're thinking about getting to tomorrow. So honestly, I think the conversations were very equal. I'm pretty sure I talked with everybody here several times of just what is best for our game, and what can we do to accomplish our goals.
Melissa, Taylor mentioned relationships. You started 3 tribes of 7. You've swapped. You have merged. how are you trying to maintain the relationships that you need to make it to sit in the final seat, to plead your case to the jury?
So I think for me, what it comes down to is the people that I've given my word to, I've just stuck to that. We're now at a point, though, where it's starting to get a little bit tricky. So for me, I love all these people that are sitting up here, so these votes are not easy. And they're just going to get harder and harder. So I've just been pretty straight up for the most part with the people that I've given my loyalty to, and yeah, I'm just going to continue to do that.
Do you feel like the people you've shown loyalty to have shown that loyalty back?
Yeah, I do.
Jazzy, loyalty, another big part of this game. How loyal are you to the people who you have said, I am working with, I am with you? And how are those loyalties going to get you through this round?
Loyalty has been a big part of my game, and for me, it's been a lot about proving, like others proving to me that they're loyal, because I know myself that I'm being loyal, but I don't know that other people are being loyal. However, when you get to this point in the game, like, it's time to start looking around and seeing, like Dave said, what is your path? Who do I need to get out to make it to the end and be able to win? Like, I'm not here to just go to the end. I want to win. So, there are some people that if I sit up there against, I'm not going to win. And there are some people that are up here that if they sit next to me, might not win. So, it's just a lot about weighing paths.
Brian, are you already thinking about who potentially sit next to give yourself the best chance to win?
Definitely. I think when the cast is this small and you have to, make quick decisions, that you want to start thinking about, okay, not just who's going to beat me in challenges, but who's going to beat me at, like, the big pitch at the end. I think that's been a huge topic of conversation. I think maybe being someone who wasn't here for a lot of the game, I might not have earned a lot of the respect of the jury. But I think that might be an asset to me right now, especially with some really, really strong competitors. Yeah.
Going back to the loyalty, you did come back from the hunting grounds. Have you been able to find some people to trust in this merged tribe since last night?
That's a tough question. I think that I do trust in the conversations I've had, but I also understand at this point it's down to the wire. We are making decisions as individuals, and I hope I'm a part of them, and I like to think I am, but I also understand that there could be reasons why votes could come my way tonight.
David, back to you. What are some of the reasons why votes might come your way tonight?
The cast might hate old people. They might hate bald people. There are a lot of alliances going on. It could go against me if an alliance that I think I'm part of, but I'm really not, targets me as an endgame threat. Maybe there's more grappling hook challenges. I might win. There's a lot of reasons, but don't.
Matt, there's been idols played, advantages talk about. Is that still in the front of your mind, or are you just going to vote for who you are going to vote and see where the cards lay?
Yeah, the advantages, the idols, all that stuff is always in all of our minds because we're playing a game that causes paranoia, and they are a huge factor in that. But really, the core of this game is social relationships, and so you gotta do your best to put yourself in a good situation where when a wrench is thrown into the plan, you have a backup plan that works for you. And so those wrenches can continue being thrown, but I'm focused on the social here.
All right. Final 8. Last chance. Anything else you'd like to say? Plead your case to your fellow tribe mates. Let's get to the vote. Culp, you can start.
All right, and away we go.
And no talking.
On down this hill and around that barn so that we can have a little chit chat over here. All right, so this is going to be a fun one. There's 8 people currently at that tribal council. 1 is immune, which means 7 are vulnerable, and 5 of their names have been floated around this round. So, ironically, I think Dave might be one of 2 names that actually wasn't. So, yeah, so let's get into it. Let me flippy my notebook pages over here. All right, let's see. Okay, gotta find my place here. So, okay, while I have it in my mind, oh Lord. Okay, so there was some talk about loyalty. Jazzy received a question about loyalty, and about how players she wanted them to show her loyalty, because she knew that she was loyal to them. And Culp said that his vote last round for Brianna was to show Jazzy that he was loyal and trustworthy, but he has heard that she's targeting him, so now he wants her out. Well, how might he accomplish that? Thankfully for him, he is currently in 2 different alliance groups that formed maybe a round or 2 ago. We heard about the Underdog Alliance of Brian, Culp, Taylor, and Matt that Brian pitched, and we heard about the other kind of group of 5 of Matt, Brian, Melissa, Culp, and Dave that Matt pitched. And it doesn't really have an official name, and I found out it's really just the people that Matt wanted to work with. And so he just was like, hey, want to be in this group with me? And it worked. Imagine, it was so easy. Yeah, so he has 2 different kind of routes to accomplish this. But of course, everyone has their own priorities, and everyone has their own ideas about who should go. Let's see. Okay, so oh my god. Sorry, there's so many symbols. Okay, so let's chit chat about Matt, because Matt is going off vibes. He has these 2 groups of people. He has an extra vote which he did not use at the last tribal council. He's saying that he wants to use it at the final 6. So he's already envisioning that he's going to make it there and make something happen. Dave actually used his extra vote at the last tribal council. So Dave no longer has one. Matt is the only one with one in, and Matt is actually feeling like he does not need immunity right now because he's in a great spot. And not in an arrogant way, but in a, hey, I've built these social bonds, I've formed these connections over these last few days, and Matt feeling pretty well insulated. Matt's number 1 target is Cam this round. And his number 2 target is actually Culp, who's he's in both of these groupie alliance-y voting groups with. Which is interesting because Matt does not want to sit next to Culp at the final the final tribal council scenario. Someone that does want to sit next to Culp as well as Matt is Brian. Brian wants to target Cam because they think Cam is a comp beast. They want to go to the end with Matt and Culp because they feel like they all have a super similar underdog story. But that's going to be really hard considering that Matt doesn't want that at all. So, and for this round, Brian finally feeling for the first time confident that they won't go home for the first time all game. And as we know, that spells disaster usually for Survivor players. And in fact, Brian is also being targeted. So, Brian is being floated to others by Cam, who is a target. I can't remember if I already talked about that, but surprise, Cam's a big target too this round. I'm told that Cam is floating Jazzy and Melissa as possible targets to Brian, but then targeting Brian to others, which is interesting because Jazzy wants to target Brian over Cam, even though Brian is sitting there saying, hey, let's go to the end together. Jazzy and Brian, let's go. But that's a lie because, as we know, Brian actually wants to go to the end with Matt and Culp. Oh, yeah. Oh my god. So it's interesting that Jazzy's being floated by Cam when Jazzy would prefer to keep Cam because she feels like Cam is a better path for her to the end if Cam stays in the game. Speaking of Cam, Melissa and he have been tight for, I think, several rounds now, but Melissa kind of distancing herself a bit from him potentially this round. She feels like Brianna kind of imploded, her own game, and like Cam was involved in that because they were tight, and so now she's like, oh, I don't know. And she does have, of course, this group of 5 that Matt pitched of Matt, Brian, Melissa, Dave, and Culp that she's feeling good about. She's in on that, so they're going to kind of figure out, okay, which way are we voting? And I think that group is between Cam and Jesse, but maybe also Brian. It's a whole thing. Moving over to Taylor, who we have not even chit-chatted about. Taylor is with the again, this like underdog thing of Taylor, Matt, Brian, and Culp. Taylor wants to target Jazzy because she feels like Cam is more loyal to her. So yeah. So there's a lot of different ideas that people have, and as we know, not everyone can get their way, and not everyone can, vote the right way. So we will see. Any last things? Matt, current belle of the ball. His number 1, I think, is actually Dave, because they were in a hunting party together and have worked nicely together the whole time. So like, it's getting down to it. Everyone's thinking about the final. Everyone's thinking how to get there, and not only who they want to sit next to, but who can help them achieve that. So, let's go find out what's gonna happen, because I do not know. So, all right. I see Alan heading on over to the voting booth now, so we're going to be back just in time. Although, so speaking of just in time, so just so you know, I know we've had some like little service issue areas. We're now doing it to where if we freeze, I see that on the screen and I stop Alan from reading a vote until we go back. So if it cuts out, don't worry. We're like, it's kind of almost like we're pausing the show for you. And then once we come back, then we press play again. So do not be afraid. I have got you. Here we go.
Anybody has an idol or an advantage and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. I'll read the votes. First vote, Cam. Brian. 1 vote Brian, 1 vote Cam. Cam, that's 2 votes Cam. Cam, 3 votes Cam. That's 4 votes Cam. That's 5 votes for Cam. That is enough. Please bring me your torch. Cameron, tribe was spoken. Time for you to go. Final
All right.
7.
And we're just going to head on out with Cam. The torch snuffer has become the torch snuffy. Cam, we're just going to head on over to this bench over here. We'll let you get settled in and situated. You can take a moment to yourself, and then this will be your time to share anything you'd like to with our viewers back home.
Is it on me already?
Yeah, we're still live, but you just take your time.
No, I'm good. I mean, I had a blast. This was such a fun opportunity to see it from the other side. I'm really proud of myself. I feel like I was an underdog to get as far as I did, and I feel like I didn't leave a stone unturned or a option untried. So good luck to the rest of them, but I'm happy that I came out here, and yeah, it was an awesome experience.
I'm so glad to hear that, Cam.
Yeah.
You made it super deep into the game, all the way to almost the end of day 4. Incredible feat. You actually had a bracket going to see.
Yeah, I wonder who gets that money. I don't know. I'll have to go look at that.
How early you would make it, but you made it super deep. Lots to be proud of about your time out here.
Yeah.
I'd love to know maybe something that you're most proud of about playing Can You Survive?
I mean, it was the first time I've ever found an idol or had an idol, and so navigating that was interesting. But I think to me, just being able to kind of play freely, even though I had some of the target on my back, and being able to build true bonds with people and build cross-tribal alliances and really just do some things that I haven't really done in prior games in terms of a social game was great, and I really enjoyed that, and it was a great group of people to be with.
I'm so glad to hear it. Was there maybe like a favorite moment during your time out here, like a fun or silly thing that you're just like
I don't know
gonna
if there's
keep
a
with
fun or
you?
silly thing, to be honest. Like, I just liked looking up at the stars with people. Every night I would just remind people to like look up at the stars. Like, I don't get that at home. There's a lot of people here that are from like cities and things, and it's just beautiful to kind of share this experience with them.
I love it. Well, I'm so glad you got to do that. And before I let you go on over to Ponderosa as a jury member, you were playing for a very worthy cause. So this is your chance to shout them out and let the viewers know who you're playing for.
Yeah, I'm playing for the Massachusetts Bail Fund. It's an organization that pays the bails for low-income folks that are held in jail. There's no actual like statistics that it helps trial appearances or anything like that. In fact, it just kind of helps kind of a systemic violence. If you're held on bail, you might miss days at work, losing your job, or might not be able to take care of your kids and lose custody of them. So it's just one of the ways where we can help kind of fight back against some of this systemic violence. Most states have one, so even if you're not in Massachusetts, look up your own local state's bail fund.
All right, Cam, thank you so much. Congratulations on a game very well played. It was a blast to watch you. And I will go ahead and hand you on over to your handler, Ale, so you can head on over to Ponderosa, and we will see you at the next Tribal Council.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cam. All right, everyone. So for those of you that do not know, Cam is our main host for Can You Survive? And this year he wanted to throw his hat in the ring as a player. So he's usually the one up there hammering players with questions. So Alan took his slot while Cam went into the game to play, which is super fun. It's been very exciting to watch him run around here, but yeah, and he actually literally did a bracket to raise money for his charity where he said, okay, bet, and if you think I'm going to get 21st, you'll win money. And if you think I'm going to get 20th, you'll win money. So half of the money went to his charity fundraising, and then half of the money went to the winner. So it'll be interesting to see who won that. All right, so I know we have set the next challenge. I think we're going to probably be doing it pretty soon here. I'm gonna go check in and see when. Hey, Brandon. When do we think we're gonna come back live for this challenge?
We are going to send them to camp. Are you
Okay.
still live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, hi, everyone. So we are going to send the players back to camp so that they can set up a second tarp because it is going to rain tonight. So we're going to be nice and give them a little...
We're so benevolent here. Not only for charity, but also for our players.
Right.
Wow.
So we're giving them a little bit of time to set up their camp.
Uh-huh.
Then we're going to bring them back for the next challenge. And if we want to give you a little... what would be
Teaser?
Teaser, yeah.
Ooh.
The challenge is set up right in front of us.
All right, we'll just flip the camera around. My favorite thing to do on stream. Right. And here we go.
So we have an endurance challenge coming up. So the final 7 will be standing on these very, very, very tiny footholds. We use this challenge in Blood versus Water and the Great Mountain. This year I decided, let's make the footholds smaller.
Wow!
So they are...
Well, we might not be so benevolent after all.
Very small, yeah.
Well.
So this challenge will be coming up soon. I would say... I don't know what time it is.
I don't know, 30 minutes?
Yeah, let's say 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
Does that give them enough time to string up a tarp?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll see you in half an hour. Go get a drink, go get a snack, go get a dinner if you're, I don't know, in Europe. Go get lunch if you're in California. I don't know what time it is. But anyway, all right, see you back here in 30 minutes.